This news update is brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
This is the 6 p.m. Barbados Today update for Thursday, April the 3rd, 2014. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Bring the evidence. That's what the umbrella body for trade unions is telling political scientist Dr. Tennyson Joseph a day after he accused the movement of being in bed with government. Joseph told Barbados Today that unions are doing a poor job of representing workers and have removed the strike option from the table. But General Secretary of the Congress of Trade Unions and Staff Associations of Barbados, Dennis DePisa, says people who make such statements should provide proof. And another trade union leader, Dennis Clark, the General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, says the university lecturer simply doesn't know what he's talking about.
When the IMF set a program, striking, going home, writing, does not change the program. They're telling me suppose a researcher looking into what happened in Santo Domingo and those places back in 1990s and prior, and that is why the IMF sat down with the trade unions in Barbados. For the first time they ever sat with the trade union movement to involve them in the discussions, because they didn't want the same thing to happen in Barbados.
And on another issue, Dr. Tennyson Joseph wants Barbadians to form a national assembly. He says there's need for an alternative plan to the structural adjustment measures being implemented by the Frendel Stewart administration.
What we're hearing from our trade unions and our political parties is that we can't do it. We have no choice. That's the language coming out of it. We have no choice. But if you say you have no choice, this group will present an alternative agenda and say that's how you manage yourself in an economic crisis and you maintain a social democratic agenda. And once you do that, you shift the conversation, right? Because I also think, to be fair to our trade union leaders, is that they need guidance.
Still no word. Officials of the Barbados Sugar Industry Limited are still awaiting discussions with Agriculture Minister Dr. David Estwick on a proposed state-of-the-art super factory to replace the facility in St. Joseph. BSIL Chairman Patrick Bethel says they're disappointed with the lack of progress.
All I've now know about the new factory is what I've read in the press and what I've been able to glean from bits and bobs and places. I find it's very unfortunate that the people who supply 60% of the canes to the factory have had no say in the actual design or input or just cooperation with the factory. But there may be reasons for that. We are working with what we have and we are very pleased with what we see.
Bethel was speaking following a tour of the Port Vale Sugar Factory today. In sports, double disappointment for the regional cricket fans today. The West Indies men, like the women, are out of the 2020 World Cup. Sluggish batting, rain and hail all came together to put the defending champions out of the competition. Chasing 161 for victory to book a place in the final, the West Indies struggled at 80 for 4 in the 14th over when a hailstorm swept across the Shea Banga Stadium, ending the contest prematurely. The Windies were 27 runs behind on the Duckworth-Lewis method as a result. Sri Lanka will go through to the final to meet the winner of Friday's second semi-final between India and South Africa.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
On the regional scene, Jamaican dancehall artist Vybz Kartel will spend the rest of his life behind bars. Today, Justice Lennox Campbell ignored strong pleas for leniency and sentenced Kartel to life in prison. Kartel, whose real name is Adidja Palmer, will serve 35 years before he is eligible for parole. The other 3 men convicted for the murder of Clive Lizard Williams were also handed life sentences. The defense says it will appeal the verdict, citing discrepancies, inconsistencies, and missing data in the collection of evidence. The United States Army is investigating whether psychological trauma pushed a soldier to carry out a deadly shooting spree at a Texas military base. 3 people were killed and 16 others wounded before the gunman shot himself dead in the attack at Fort Hood. Fort Hood's commanding officer says the man who served in Iraq back in 2011 has sought treatment for depression, anxiety, and other problems.
We are digging deep into his background, any criminal history, psychiatric history, his experiences in combat. All of the things that you would expect us to be doing are being done right now.
That's our 6 p.m. update. Join us again at 7 in the morning. In the meantime, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. Subscribe to our e-paper and like us on Facebook to get more news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph.
This news update is brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Catch the sun.